On a quiet evening, police were called to a small suburban home after neighbors noticed something disturbing. The lights had been on all night. The front door was slightly open. Inside the house lived 23-year-old Sarah, a rising social media influencer known for her bright smile and uplifting videos. But when officers stepped inside, they realized something was terribly wrong. Sarah was found unresponsive in her living room. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing appeared stolen, and that meant one terrifying possibility. Whoever was responsible, Sarah probably knew them. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? Because this case shocked an entire community and left many people asking one painful question. How could someone so full of life end up becoming the victim of such a devastating betrayal? Sarah's life online to her followers. Sarah seemed like someone whose life was just beginning to bloom. She was only 23 years old but had already built a growing online audience. Her videos focused on lifestyle tips, fashion, and motivation for young people chasing their dreams. Every morning, she posted something positive. Sometimes it was a quick video encouraging people to believe in themselves. Other times it was a glimpse into her daily routine, making coffee, planning content, laughing with friends. Her followers admired her optimism. But what most people didn't know was that Sarah had not always had an easy life. When she was younger, her family struggled financially. During those difficult years, one person stepped in to help the family. Her uncle, Marcus, the man who was once a hero for many years. Marcus had been someone Sarah looked up to. He was older, confident, and often helped the family when things became difficult. Relatives would later say Marcus liked being seen as the one who solved problems. And when Sarah was growing up, he often reminded everyone of the sacrifices he had made to help them. At first, Sarah appreciated it, but as she got older, something about Marcus began to change. Friends would later recall that Marcus seemed unusually interested in Sarah's online success. At first it looked like pride, but over time, that pride slowly began to look more like something else. Jealousy, success that sparked resentment. Sarah's social media following continued to grow. Brands started noticing her. Small sponsorship deals began appearing. She wasn't rich, not even close, but she was finally building something for herself. Meanwhile, Marcus had been struggling with financial problems. Business ideas that never worked, debt that kept growing. According to family members, Marcus often joked that Sarah should help him promote his projects online. At first she laughed it off, but eventually, the requests became more serious. And one day, Sarah told him no. It was a moment that seemed small at the time, but investigators would later believe that moment changed everything. The argument 3 days before the tragedy, Sarah attended a small family gathering. Everything seemed normal at first, but several relatives later told police that Marcus appeared unusually tense. At one point, the two were seen having a quiet but intense conversation in the kitchen. No one heard exactly what was said, but witnesses noticed Sarah leaving the conversation looking uncomfortable. Marcus, on the other hand, looked furious. It was the last time most of the family would see Sarah alive. The final video the next day, Sarah posted what would become her final video. In it, she talked about chasing dreams and staying positive even when life became difficult. Nothing seemed unusual. Her followers filled the comments with encouragement. But later, investigators would notice something chilling. That video had been recorded just hours before her death. The night everything changed that evening, Sarah stopped replying to messages. At first, her friends thought she was simply busy. But when an entire day passed with no response, concern started to grow. One friend decided to check on her. When they arrived at the house, something felt wrong immediately. The door was slightly open, the lights were still on, and the house was completely silent. Police were called. What officers discovered inside shocked everyone. A suspicious detail. Detectives began searching for clues. There were no signs of forced entry. That meant Sarah had likely allowed whoever entered the house inside willingly. Phone records were examined, messages reviewed. Security cameras from nearby homes were checked. And then detectives discovered something that immediately caught their attention. A car had been seen driving past Sarah's home that night. A car belonging to someone she knew very well. Her uncle, Marcus. What do you think so far? Do you believe Marcus was involved? Or could this have been a misunderstanding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. because what investigators discovered next would turn suspicion into something far more serious. The evidence police questioned Marcus. At first, he denied visiting Sarah that night. But surveillance footage told a different story. His car had been captured on camera just minutes before the estimated time of Sarah's death. When detectives confronted him with the evidence, his story changed. He admitted visiting the house, but claimed the visit had been peaceful. Investigators weren't convinced. Then another disturbing detail appeared. Sarah's phone had recorded a short audio clip. It captured part of a heated argument, and one voice sounded unmistakably familiar: Marcus. The truth revealed, according to investigators, the argument had started over money and resentment. Marcus reportedly felt that Sarah had become selfish, that she had forgotten the people who helped her in the past. But the situation escalated quickly. What began as a heated argument turned into something tragic. And by the time Marcus left the house that night, Sarah's life had been taken. Justice Marcus was later arrested and charged. During the trial, prosecutors presented the security footage, phone recordings, and witness statements. The evidence painted a heartbreaking picture of jealousy and resentment that had been building for years. The jury ultimately found Marcus guilty, but for Sarah's family and her followers, the verdict brought only partial closure, because no sentence could undo what had been lost. The legacy Sarah left behind after the case ended. Sarah's social media pages remained online. Thousands of followers continued leaving messages. Many said her positivity had helped them during difficult times. And even after her passing, her final video continued inspiring people, a reminder that life is fragile, and that sometimes the most dangerous betrayals come from the people we trust the most. If this story moved you, share your thoughts below. And once again, tell me where you're watching from. Stories like this help raise awareness and remind us how important it is to recognize warning signs before it is too late. Because behind every true crime case, there is always a real life that should never be forgotten.